What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Boston's Banter, where the sports are wicked and the banter is Pissah. I'm your host, Frank the Bank. With me, as always, is Keith LaCava. What's going on, Professor X?
Professor X in this building, bro. Not much. Aiden Broconnell.
Aiden Broconnell. Nice one. I like
that guy's looking a little banged up or whatever.
Done for the year. Yeah, last week, another great episode. We had another stat challenge. Congrats to your buddy, Nick.
Nick Stafford. He got it right on the nose with the 232,
that
man.
Was crazy.
And they lost to the Grizzlies, man.
That was crazy. We'll get into that, too. But congratulations, Nick.
Congrats, brother.
On the Tatum card. We got another stat challenge this week. We got a Jalen Polk on-card auto. These are really cool cards.
Yep.
We're not going to just pick Jalen Polk's stats because he could literally have one or no catches. But
Zero.
We're going to do the Patriots wide receivers yards. So the entire
wide receiver group.
Wide receiver core group, whatever you want to call it. So add them all up. Not tight ends, not running backs, just wide receivers. How many yards they have as a collective is going to be the stat challenge this week.
I like that.
And you win the on-card auto, Jalen Polk. Best hands in Pop Warner.
I know.
NFL.
In the NFL, right?
So
we'll see.
Yeah, that's looking forward to that. Why don't we jump right into the Wicked Pissah News?
Wicked Pissah News, baby. And like every week, Frankie, here we are. Bruins update. So the Bruins sit at 15-11-3 on the season so far. They're third in the Atlantic Division. Bruins are 3-0 since our last show.
Yeah.
Going back to the last week.
4 straight, too. I know they won one before our last show. So, yeah.
So 4 straight. So they beat the Red Wings 3-2 in overtime last Tuesday, followed by a 4-2 win over Chicago this past Wednesday, and then a 4-3 overtime victory over the Flyers this past Saturday, Frankie. So coaching changes, man. This starting to look
like
good
it's
again,
helping
bro.
A little bit. Yeah,
right,
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they played tonight against Winnipeg. Winnipeg's 20-9. They've had actually a really good season.
Yes, they have.
They were a surprise team last year, but they played really good this year again. So hopefully they can make it 5 straight.
Man, we don't like the Jets in the NHL and the NFL, brother.
There you go. There you go. What do you got on the Celtics?
So the Celtics update, Frankie. He's sitting at 19-5 on the season, second in the Eastern Conference, still behind the Cavs. We got them a game. They got us in a game. But let's break down what they did since our last show. So they were 2-1 since our last show, beating the Pistons 130-120 this past Wednesday in Boston, followed by a 111-105 win over the Bucks Friday. That was actually a really good game, man. Yeah, down to the wire, man. And then an unfortunate 127-121 loss, like we were talking about, versus the Grizzlies. Marcus Smaht back in the building for the first time playing against the Seas.
He's
a little banged up last year, so when the Grizzlies played in Boston last year, he didn't play.
Yeah.
So it was good to see him get the standing ovation, but man, he got us.
Yeah, that was tough. They were down, then we came back, and we just couldn't put it together.
Man. They were playing very consistent, the Grizzlies, in that game, bro. Like we couldn't get up on them, and every time we did.
John Morant's something else.
You saw that dunk, bro? The possible dunk of the year?
He's got such ups, it's crazy.
The day before, he says he's done dunking. Yeah, okay.
Right.
So the next game is Thursday at home versus the Pistons, Frankie, which should be a win, but you never know.
That should be a W all day.
Right, you know what I mean?
We got some other NBA news we want to bring up. Chris Paul,
man. CP3, man. The ageless wonder. Yes, sir. And assists, man. Right behind John Stockton. I mean, John Stockton's still got a good margin on him.
No one's catching
right. You know what I mean, bro?
Man, CP3's still doing it at a high level for a long time. And,
absolutely, man.
He's done it right. I like the way he plays. He's a good dude. He's just a consummate professional, honestly.
I just wish he came to the sea so we could say, hey, man, I want to see him win a ring, because I'm not going to lie, man, he's with the Spurs right now, and obviously getting those dimes is going to be easy when you got Victor Wembanyama, bro. You know what I mean?
But yeah, it would be nice to see him get a ring for sure.
Well, let's look at his career, man. The 4th overall pick to the New Orleans Hornets, back then in 2005, out of Wake Forest. Now at 39 years old, he's still doing his thing, brother.
Doing his thing, man.
Let's go.
Good for him.
Yes, sir.
But we got some interesting baseball news.
Oh, my. Cha-ching, that's all I got to say there.
Juan Soto, my gosh, dude. Like, what in the... That's just crazy amounts of money.
15 years, bro.
That is nuts. Like, I'm sure you guys all seen his new contract. This is the biggest in history.
Of all sports.
In any sport, it's $750 million plus.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? It's like unbelievable the amount of money he just got.
15 years, $765 million, bro. I'm gonna be 47 when that contract expires.
It's just crazy, man.
It's like some Bobby Bonilla stuff.
$765 million.
Well, do you see what the Yankees offered him? I mean, obviously it was around that same ballpark, but he turned down the Yankees offer of 16 years, $760 million, bro. So it was like he went to the World Series with them last year, but he said, nah, man, I'm going for the highest I can go.
He's a great player, but he ain't the best player in the league.
It's crazy.
Let's be real.
It's crazy.
He wasn't even the best player on his team last year.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge was.
Right. And I was going to say, man, clearly he didn't want to go back to the Yankees, maybe because obviously Aaron Judge is sticking out more than him. I mean, the guy's still a beast, though. We look at his accolades, man. You know, he's got a career batting average of 285, 934 hits, 201 home runs, 592 RBIs. Yeah. So, I mean, the dude is
He takes
a beast.
a lot of walks. Actually, we talked about that. He was teaching Aaron Judge a lot about that. But, I mean, having Judge behind you in the lineup, you know what I mean? That's going to help. You see more strikes.
Right, absolutely.
I think that helped him. You know.
No, and you know, at the end of the day, man, it's like, yeah, like the guy was gonna get paid, but dude, like that's wild. The best way to put it. Hey, real quick, funny comparison though, bro. So back in '94, right when Robert Kraft bought the Patriots, you know how much he bought the Pats for?
Nah, I don't remember. I know I've seen this somewhere though.
$172 million. I know that was in '94, bro, and the team is worth way more now.
Oh, billions.
But put into that perspective with this contract he just got, and Robert Kraft's buying a professional NFL team for not even $200 million.
I mean, he could have bought like 4 of them back then.
Right, dude. Could have had one for all the regions in New England, Vermont, Rhode Island, you know what I mean, Massachusetts.
That's a fact.
Let's go.
Why don't we jump right into some NFL stuff while we're talking NFL?
Yes, sir. So, you know, not many injuries. Actually, I didn't see much this week, but we have some NFL records that were broken, and we're going to start with Saquon Barkley of the Eagles, man. He set the Eagles' single-season rushing yard record. Man, Barkley's been killing, bro. He's actually on pace to break the all-time single-season rushing yard record. He's on pace for 21-22, bro, and the previous record by Eric Dickerson in 1984 was 21-05.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
Yep. So then we also had another record. Justin Jefferson of the Vikings became the youngest player to reach 7,000 career receiving yards. First player in NFL history under 26 to reach that milestone.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Bro,
he's
I mean,
nasty.
got me 31 points last week, man. He killed it. Finally got back.
Finally got the end zone
and then
twice,
Jordan Addison gets 3, of course.
Yeah, Addison went crazy too.
So, yep, he broke the previous record held by Mike Evans, who was 26 years and 81 days. Jefferson is 25 years and 175 days.
Yep.
Move over to another one, bro. We had a lot broken. I mean, it's the end of the season. You're going to start seeing these things. Rookie tight end Brock Bowers set the NFL's all-time record for most receptions by a rookie tight end in a single season with 87. You know what's funny, though? The record was broken the year before by Detroit's Sam Laporta with 86, but he did it in the whole season. Brock Bowers did it in 13 games.
I like that they're doing it since these records are going to get broken because there's more games played now than there was years ago.
17
but
games,
this happened prior to that.
Exactly.
So this is well prior to that. So it's like the extra game didn't matter in this case. You're going to see records broke and people are going to be like, well, they played one extra game. Of course the record's going to get
Sam Laporta didn't last year.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. So that's a good
now
point
this
right there,
one,
brother.
You know, is a true record breaker.
Dude, and I'm telling you right now, it's like I said, even more impressive that he did it in 13 games.
Yeah,
I mean, let's face it, though, the Raiders don't got a lot on that offense.
Guy catches 10 balls a game.
Right, dude, that's what I'm saying. And then over to an impressive game, even though this team lost.
They lost.
The Bills quarterback, Josh Allen, is the first quarterback in NFL history to throw for 3 touchdowns
and
run for 3 touchdowns in a regular season game. Not only that, Frankie, he broke the Yahoo Fantasy quarterback record for points with a rough average of 51.88, which I guess is the highest depending on like scoring and stuff. But by Yahoo standards, he broke the record for points
Mike
for a
Vick
quarterback.
Was before.
Dude, insane.
And that, he did. He went crazy. I have him in my 2 quarterback league, like the funny crazy league that I do with the other Keith, and he went nuts. He had 50-something points, like 57 points in that league.
Dude, it's crazy, man. But it's crazy. The Bills lost 44-42, the most points the Bills ever scored in a loss.
That was crazy. That game was 86 points.
Yeah,
the game was nuts,
dude.
And I feel like that if they didn't call that timeout and just ran 2 plays in a row,
right?
Like I feel like Sean McDermott messed up.
He did, man. I think he got a little ahead of himself. Right, exactly.
Right? If you don't get on the first, you can waste 10, 12 seconds.
Absolutely.
You cannot burn a timeout there because they had no time left.
Right.
If you just say, all right, we're going to waste 12 seconds, we have 3 timeouts, we can get the ball back.
It was getting, the Rams were reading that. I mean, mind you, look what James Cook did. He did nothing. So they knew Josh Allen was everything on that offense.
Yeah, but they called the timeout and ran the same play again.
That's what I'm saying, right.
It's like, why not just already call that play twice in a row in the huddle? If I don't get it, get back to the line, we'll run another play in 10 seconds.
Yep, he's going to get,
So that's how it should have went, in my opinion.
I agree with you there. But again, the dude went off. It's crazy that it happened in a loss.
That was crazy. I know we both took the Bills to win, too. The Rams were the big upset there.
It was. But I do got one more record, Frankie, but it isn't one that a team wants to be known for in the New York Jets, everybody. I love it, dude. Love it. Have now missed the playoffs for a 14th straight season. Last time they made the playoffs, I was graduating high school, man. That was the last time they made the playoffs. Their postseason drought is now the longest active streak across every professional sport. NFL, NBA, WNBA, NHL, MLS, you name it, MLB, everything. So we love to see that over here at Boston's Banter, the Jets sucking.
I had a couple things for injuries just real quick. Jonathan Brooks
Saw that.
You know what I mean? The running back tore his ACL again. He just came back for a few games too from that same thing that happened in college. So the rookie, he's out for the year.
Right.
Hopefully that's not, a long-term thing.
Within 13 months, brother. The same knee,
same
too,
one.
man,
So
dude.
that's tough. I mean,
Non-contact.
hopefully he's all right in the long term. And then Derek Carr fractured his hand. He's most likely done for the year. They're not playing.
Yeah,
for
they're gonna sit him down, man. They'll have
So.
Spencer Rattler back out there.
Yep. So that's all we got for Wicked Pissah News. Why don't we jump into the Foxboro Focus?
Here we are, Frankie. So the Patriots didn't have a game last week, so we're not going to get into really much of that. But we do have some news that they had, especially from today.
Yeah, what you got for me?
So the Patriots released wide receiver KJ Osborne, man, and we saw that coming, dude.
Yeah,
the
he
dude's
don't
been a
play
healthy
much.
scratch the last few weeks, man. And, unfortunately, with the quarterback situation, I mean, Drake May has been playing good, but let's face it, man. I mean, when you're looking at the receiver depth, I mean, he's going to get locked down.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
He wasn't playing much either, bro.
They didn't let him out there much. I mean, he looked good for the Vikings here and there.
Right.
You know what I mean, when he was there, but I don't know.
Well, in 13 games, I mean, let's face it, in 13 weeks, I should say, he played in only 7 games. He only had 7 receptions, 57 yards, and 1 touchdown, brother.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
So we're rolling out with Pop, Polk, Bourne, Booty, and Baker. Maybe we'll see Baker
I want to
now,
see Baker
dude.
on the
Come
field,
on,
actually.
man.
At this point, you might as well, right?
Right,
See what
dude.
he can do.
So from losing a receiver to, the Patriots are already trying to prep for this upcoming free agency, and it's supposedly the Patriots are reportedly all in on T. Higgins this free agency. Once he hits free agency, Frankie, the Pats are prepared to, quote-unquote, offer the moon for him. And Frankie, me and you talked about this,
We
where
did.
I
We
do
talked
want
about
T.
this.
Higgins, but I didn't really think about this, man. But you make a good point. Why are we going to pay this man north 28 to 30 million a year?
It's the same thing we talked about with Ayuk, right?
Right.
Like,
Especially
I like
injury
this guy
history.
better than Ayuk. Okay?
I agree. I
But,
agree.
Again, if you're going to lock up that much money, he's not even the number 1 receiver on his team.
Right. I mean, obviously, Jamar Chase is one of the most dynamic
If you're
receivers
to pay
in
a
the
guy
league.
$30+ million, he better be a Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb,
Right.
Jefferson.
Right.
It better be somebody
And
like
that's a lot of money for a number 2 wide receiver. Don't get me wrong. We've seen what T. Higgins can do. The guy's a baller, and who knows
He's
what he could be
good,
as a
but
number
he
1.
is not like. Come on,
Not
Jamar
at
Chase
28
is
million.
getting double teamed every single game. You would think T. Higgins would go off every single game. Jamar Chase still getting all the balls.
Yeah, I know, man. 41
Let's be
points
real.
last night.
Let's be real. So, to me, I hope he comes here and he balls out and he's great. But he is a big.
They're gonna
he's
offer the
big.
moon, man. I'm not with that, man, because you got to fill other positions.
He's a
dude.
tall receiver. He's he's a strong guy. He does get injured sometimes. I feel like he's
Right.
off and off injured.
Missed a few
They
games
actually
this year.
talked about like him doing the same thing Christian Watson did with about strengthening the hamstring and learning about the hamstrings in the offseason because he seems to have some hamstring issues here and there.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm just not sold on getting a guy that if you're gonna pay $30 million for somebody. You think about how much we need on this team right now.
Yeah, linemen, like we said, more receivers.
30 million?
Nah, yeah, I'm all set.
I don't know.
I want T. Higgins, but I don't want him for that much money.
I feel like we're gonna be high up in the draft.
Right.
You can go get a good receiver, right?
I agree.
Instead of paying this, and then answer all the other issues. Like you're saying, the line. We need a lot of help.
Well, I saw that on their priority list. I guess it's T. Higgins and then Cowboys offensive lineman Trey Smith. They have their eyes on as
Yeah,
well. So
I mean that
hope
would be
they go out
good
there,
if they
you know.
can get Smith. That'd be great.
I mean, get both of those guys, but again, you don't pay Higgins that much money because then obviously now you're kind of limited on where you're spending.
We're gonna have most likely a top 5 draft pick.
Right.
Again,
We're within the top with cap as well, man. When it comes to spending,
I'm saying so. It's like I don't know. There's a lot we can do. I do like T. Higgins. I don't know if he's gonna excel as a number 1. Like Jamar Chase would,
Right.
But he's a good player. I mean, if we can get him for the
Absolutely.
right price, definitely get him. But
Dude,
don't overpay
nah.
somebody. You know what I mean?
and that's the 49ers are dealing with that. Obviously, what they paid Brandon
Oh
Ayuk
my
to puke,
gosh.
man.
It's just terrible. And then we're talking about draft picks. The Jags with an upset this weekend, kinda. I mean, both teams kind of crappy.
Mac Jones.
Yeah, Mac Jones with the win. It was the ugliest game in history.
3 turnovers, I believe he had.
It was like 10-6. It was like the silliest looking game you ever watched in your life.
Yep.
But yeah, so there's only 2 teams behind us in terms of the amount of wins that they have. Oakland has 2 wins and the Giants have 2 wins. And then we're tied with the Jags, Titans, Browns, Jets, and Panthers, and us all have 3 wins.
Yep.
So right now the Titans beat us and the Jets beat us. So it's like we're like sitting there maybe at 3 right now, right? 3 or 4. You know what I mean? I like
Potentially,
it.
man. I mean, I like the odds too. I mean, considering the plays that are going to be there within the top 5 as well, man.
I'm saying. And if you don't like it, you trade back a little. get some more draft capital.
Get some firepower from other teams, too, man. Who knows how they're going to go about this.
There's a lot of things you can do. So
right, absolutely.
The higher the pick, the better.
I wouldn't mind Travis Hunter. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I would love that. And you wouldn't have to pay him because he'll be on a rookie salary.
Exactly.
He'll get paid. He'll make money.
Yeah.
But he ain't getting $30 million a year money yet.
Exactly.
In 4 or 5 years when he's out of his rookie
I
contract,
think the Patriots
he'll get paid.
Got to pump the brakes on saying they're going to send the moon and whatnot on that.
Yeah, I don't like that. But what do we got for this week coming up? So Frankie, Patriots at Cardinals.
Yes, sir. Upcoming week 15 at the Cardinals breakdown. Let's go over what they did this past week. So the Cardinals week 14, they lost to the Seahawks 30-18, brother, bringing their record to 6-7.
Yep.
Let's see what they did. Kyler Murray, 25 for 38, 259 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. James Conner, man, was getting some carries, 18 carries, 90 yards. They said Trey Benson, we're just going to hand the ball off to this guy every time.
They put up, if you look at their stats, you would have thought they didn't get blown out.
No.
The stats weren't terrible.
Right.
I mean, the 2 turnovers obviously were terrible.
Trey McBride, 7 receptions, 70 yards.
saying.
And then, Marvin Harrison Jr., 4 catches for 49, as I know on my last place fantasy team. I'll bring that up later. So Cardinals notes from week 14. Cardinals had 356 total yards, and then they allowed 409 total yards to the Seahawks, Frankie. The Cardinals were 4 for 12 on third down. They were having their troubles there. And they were 1 for 3 in the red zone. So, obviously, they have their ways of getting stopped there. But week 15 prediction at the Cardinals, Frankie, I'm going to be taking the Cardinals here.
I could see the Patriots winning this game.
I
off
could
of a
too.
bye. The way I said it last week. You
Right.
took the Cardinals, I took Seahawks. The Cardinals just look out of sorts. I'm not going to take the Patriots because it's in Arizona.
Right.
But coming off a bye, the Patriots have been very close on some of these scores.
They
the
have.
Cardinals
1
look
point at the Colts.
like just they don't know. I don't think they have an identity.
They don't have an identity.
That's what it is.
Well, the thing that scares me, obviously, I love Gonzo in our secondary. Kyle Duggar's great too, but I just think with Kyler's mobility and especially the improvisations he can make when he's rolling out and sending these guys different directions, I think it's going to be too much for the Patriots defense. But I could, like you said, after a bye week, the Patriots I could see stopping them.
Patriots defense is better than the Seahawks defense, in my opinion. The Seahawks shut them down pretty good in terms of
absolutely.
scoring.
Since they got Jabril Peppers and Christian Barmore back too, we've seen those Russian defense numbers go up, bro.
Everything's looked better since them 2 came back.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know. I could definitely see the Patriots upsetting them, but I don't want them to. Again, I want a high draft pick, but it's in Arizona. And like you said, Kyler Murray, mobile quarterbacks are tough. I mean, that's a tough thing to cover.
Well, that's the thing, too. And he likes to do his improvising. You see him, he'll be rolling up, pointing downfield. So I think that's going to be tough for the Patriots. Gonzo can't cover everybody on the field. Mind you, they have that other receiver, Michael Wilson, man. He had a touchdown last week.
Good. So he's pretty good.
It's going to be a tough one, but I'm taking the Cardinals.
I'm going to go Cards, too, on this one. So
we'll see what happens, Frankie.
Awesome. That's all we got for the Foxboro Focus. Let's jump into Wicked Smaht Fantasy Stat.
And here we are, Frankie. End of the fantasy regular season, and we're going into the fantasy playoffs. But let's go over what happened last week with our team. So we'll start with my league, brother. Week 14, your boy, I lost 196.26 to 120.22, bringing my final regular season record to an 8-6. Your boys in 5th place in the playoffs.
That's it.
Yeah, I had too many bye weeks last week, so I'm going to go over the studs and duds. Justin Jefferson, man, he killed it last week. 34.2. He had 132 yards, 2 touchdowns. Wish he got the third one, but it is what it is. Rashad White, 24.9. He had 2 touchdowns for me. He was looking pretty good. And then Jonnu Smith, man, which I thought for sure he was going to be a dud. It was funny. My guy finished with 13.4 points, but mind you, he had 0 going into OT. On that OT drive, he had 3 catches, 44 yards, and a touchdown, bro.
Yeah, seen that.
And let's go over to my duds. Like I said, I had a bye week central, man. The bye-mageddon, as a lot of people like to say. So I had to pick up a quarterback. And hey, let me start Will Levis against Jacksonville's 32nd ranked defense, 7.02. So Xavier Legette was another one for me. He should have had a touchdown at the end of that game against Philly, which they could have potentially won, but finished with 5.9 points. Calvin Austin from the Steelers, 1.4, 1 catch for 4 yards. And then Jake Elliott, my kicker from the Eagles, he only got me 2 points. Frankie, let's hear what you did in my league.
I won 135 to 95, so I kept first place still. I don't think I could have really fell out of first place either way. 11-3, I finished the regular season in. Gotta love that. So some of my guys that went off did all right. I didn't put up that many points, actually. 135 is pretty low for me, but Hurts 28, Pollard 14. I had Isaac Garendo, the backup of the backup. You know what I mean? For my guy, 26. Yeah. Njoku again had 17. He's been good. Some of my duds, all my receivers are terrible. Trey Tucker, I had to start again. 2.7. Daniel Samuels is due for a game. I hope he goes off in the playoffs for me, but 5.5. Bucky Irving got hurt in the first quarter, so he only got 2.8.
Yeah, with Rashad White.
Yeah, and then James Cook, unfortunately, been real bad. We kind of talked about that as well today. 4.9. That was terrible. So.
Yep. So Frankie, we're in the playoffs, brother. Both of us. So I want to say good luck to you, but I don't want to say good luck to you.
I got to buy this week, so you got to win this week.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
Hopefully, I'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. So let's go over to your league, Frankie, where it was a rough year for me in your league. Probably the worst I ever had.
Hey,
in the
I told you
league.
At the draft when you saw it, you should rewind the tape. Check us out. I said you're gonna be in last place.
I got to get him $50.
$50 coming my way.
It is what it is, brother. But week 14, I lost 213 to 117.
That's the most biggest blowout this year. I think 100-point loss.
Hey, mind you though, man, a lot of my games were
they were close.
Very close. So I could have been close, but
you had more points than the guy right above you in ninth.
By like
place.
300 points.
Yeah, you had a lot more points than Joey.
So I finished 2-12 in the year, man. I'm in last place. So we'll talk about my studs real quick. Darnell Mooney, 22.2, man. He went off. Kirk Cousins didn't look good, but he was looking for him the whole game.
Yep.
Tony Pollard, 15.4. Christian Watson, 15.4. And then the Steelers defense, they got me 16 points. They had 3 sacks, 2 picks, a forced fumble, man. They were looking good. So here are my duds. And like I just said, Kirk Cousins, man, 11.76. He only had 2 interceptions. I think a little over 300 yards. But what's going on with this guy, bro?
I don't know.
Put in Michael Penix at this point,
it's
dude.
It's wild, yeah. He's been so... he started out the season great, and then
he did.
It's been downhill since.
Yep. DeAndre Swift, 5 points. He only had 40 total yards. James Cook, like you were just talking about, 4.9. He only had 29 total yards. And then again, I had Jake Elliott as a start here. It was 2 points. So, Frankie, how we do in your league?
I put up a number in my league. Also, I know you lost to a guy with 217. I put up 215, and I won by almost
200, bro.
Yeah, I won by 85 points. So I ended up keeping 4th place in my league. Jordan Love, 15 points. Cooper Kupp, 20. Tyreek Hill finally showed up, 29. Juwan Jennings, 28 points. Went crazy. Bijan, 20. Chase Brown been an animal all year. He might be my keeper. I drafted him like 13th round, 24 points.
That was a great pick right there.
Rashad White, I started just because I had guys on bye. I'm like, I'll start him. Again, Bucky Irvin got hurt. He had 25 points. So I didn't really have many duds. Isaiah Pacheco had 8 points. I don't know if I'm going to start him this week. Man.
So let's get into it, Frankie. We only got a few more weeks left of this, so the Week 15 must-starts, the playoffs edition. Let's go, brother. So I'm going to say this. From number 1, start quarterback Jaden Daniels, if you got him on your team. Obviously, I got him. I'm starting Jaden Daniels, brother. But let's see what he can do at the Saints this Sunday. So the Saints have the 29th ranked pass defense, the 30th overall defense, and the 26th ranked rush defense. What can Jaden Daniels do other than pass? He can run the ball.
Yep.
Daniels has 8 total touchdowns the last 3 games, passing and rushing. The dude's been going off, as we both know.
Oh, yeah.
And also, like we've talked about, the Saints don't have Marshawn Lattimore anymore. He's going to be on the other sideline, bro.
I like that.
Number 2, start running back Rico Dowdle at the Panthers. Now, Rico Dowdle, man, we always see those late season surges from some guys that kind of boost their fantasy stock. I think that's what's going to happen with him.
He's been playing good. He played good last night against the Bengals.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So the Panthers have the 32nd ranked rush defense, also the 25th ranked red zone defense. So I think the Cowboys get in the red zone. They're going to be handing him the ball. And to top it off, the Panthers also have the 31st ranked overall defense, my brother. Panthers have allowed an opposing team's running back to go over 100 yards 3 of the last 4 games. And like I said, man, these late season surges, I think we could see it out of Rico.
Yeah, I could see that easily.
So number 3, start either Ladd McConkey or Quentin Johnston versus the Bucks. Now, the Bucks have the 30th ranked pass defense as well as the 28th ranked overall defense, and Bucks all-pro safety Antoine Winfield. He's out for a few weeks now. So that's going to help their cause. Johnston, he's been a touchdown machine after a disappointing rookie season last year, being a first-round pick. The guy's got 7 touchdowns. While I get it, man, McConkey, I need him this week. I need him. He didn't play last week, but he, like I said, man, 3 games, he had 6. The last 3 games, he had 6+ receptions and at least 80 yards. Mind you,
he's come on real strong the last few weeks.
2 out of the last 3 have been over 100 yards.
Oh, he's been killing it the last few weeks.
So, man, I hope McConkey's back this week, bro. I need him for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Number 4, start wide receiver Cortland Sutton versus the Colts. Now, the Colts have the 26th ranked pass defense, and Sutton has had 6+ receptions the last 6 games. Bo Nix is looking for him. Mind you, he also has 90+ receiving yards 4 of the last 6 games. And then the ones he didn't have, they were 78 and 70 yards. So he's getting his looks and the yards, man. Like I said, Bo Nix is a rookie. He's already found his target, bro. That's his guy. That's his go-to guy. And then number 5, which I'm playing against this guy, but I got to bring it up. We got to be real here. Start tight end Kyle Pitts at the Raiders. And I'm telling you right now, I think Kyle Pitts will be a top 3 tight end this week.
I know. He's so up and down. He either goes off or he gets nothing.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
It's crazy.
So the Raiders have the 21st ranked red zone defense, but mind you, they are 3rd worst to tight ends in terms of all these receptions, yards, and touchdowns. 3rd worst to tight ends, bro, in each one of those categories. Pitt's last 3 games were against the Vikings, Chargers, and Broncos, pretty good secondaries and whatnot. But the last time he's played against a bottom-ranked secondary, he tends to have those games, obviously. Mind you, October 27th at the Bucks. 4 receptions, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns. October 13th at the Panthers, 3 receptions, 70 yards. And then October 3rd versus the Bucs, 7 receptions for 88 yards.
Wow.
So I'm telling you, get Kyle Pitts in your lineup. But Mike, I wouldn't mind if you take him out, brother. Frankie,
great.
how's the FanDuel looking, man?
So this week we got some. I like Jameis Winston. He's been throwing the ball a lot. They've been playing from behind. It is what it is. He's only 7,000 this week, going up against KC. It's in Cleveland. It should be a game where he's going to have to pass. They should be behind for 7,000.
I think they're going to keep it close.
They could. I mean, they got killed. We thought we were going to keep it close against Pittsburgh, right? Or wherever they played. Denver last week, right?
Right.
He kept throwing interceptions, so I don't know. But I like him this week. He's been putting up points.
I like that.
I'm going to stack him with Jerry Jeudy, who he's been looking for nonstop. Guy,
he's been balling.
Oh, he's been crazy. So he's only 6,900. I thought that was pretty discounted for him.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
Guy that had over 230 receiving
I'm
yards
saying,
a
in the
few
last couple
few
weeks,
ago,
he's been crazy. So,
wow.
I like that stack there. So for my tight end this week, I got Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft's only 5,200. He's got a good matchup against Seattle. We just talked about Trey McBride had a pretty good game. Last week against the Lions, he had 5 targets, 40-something yards, a touchdown. Should have had a second touchdown, got tackled at like the 2.
That's the Lions defense.
And that's against the Lions. So, yeah, I mean, he's only 5,200. So I was like, you know what? When you see my team in a minute, Keith will show us, it's I put some cheap guys in there, and then I stacked it with some expensive guys. So I feel like for 5,200, that's a bargain.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? My running back, my steal this week for running backs is Jaleel McLaughlin.
I like it, dude. I like it.
He looked like the number 1, right, last week.
Right.
So last week he played really well against Cleveland. Cleveland's run defense pretty good.
They are. They're actually one of the tops.
I'm saying. So 14 rushes, 84 yards against a good run defense. This week, he's got a good matchup. He's going up against Indy. Indy is 24th against the run.
Right.
So they're terrible against the run. If this kid, he's explosive. He's an explosive player if you haven't seen him. He's only 5,000. So I'm like, you need to get lucky and get a couple of these guys, get a touchdown, and then your big guns get in there. Right. And then my defense, I put the Patriots. They're the second cheapest defense. Again, off a bye. Seattle made Kyler look kind of silly. You talked about 2 interceptions.
Right.
You know what I mean? So second cheapest defense, 3,100.
Why not?
And this is my whole team, as you can see here, Keith.
Let's break it down, brother. So I actually do like that McLaughlin pick a lot, but like you said, Winston, McLaughlin, Joe Mixon, man, against Miami. Obviously, man, he's been their target on passing, rushing, obviously. Jerry Jeudy and Tyreek Hill, man. DeAndre Hopkins, we'll see how he does. Hope they kind of shut him down in Cleveland, but for your sake, I hope he goes off, Frank. Tucker Kraft at the tight end against Seattle, Devon A-Chain in the flex, and the Patriots defense, man. I hope they get 5 picks against the Cardinals, brother.
Yes, sir. That's all we got for Wicked Smart Fantasy Stats. Let's jump into the lava round this week.
Well, let's go back to those NFL weekly picks from week 14, Frankie. So, yeah, I had a rough week with the picks, bro. I finished 8-5 on the picks, bringing my overall record to 140-68. Frankie, you went 11-2, man. Every difference we had, you got the game. I'll give you that, bro. Bringing your overall record to 147-61, man. You got me by 7 games. I gotta get a resurgence here.
Let's get it popping.
Let's NFL Week 15 picks, Frankie. You name them, we'll predict them. Let's get it going.
I love it. Rams at 49ers. Who you got?
Oh, I'm taking the Rams here. They just beat the Bills, bro.
They just beat the Bills.
You know what I mean? I think that's a little boost for them too.
I know, it's crazy. They've been playing great all of a sudden. Man. But they're like sometimes they play so bad, it doesn't make sense. Even the 49ers last week, we didn't think they'd play as good as they did, but they did. So I don't know. I do like the Rams this week,
and
too.
Especially with Puka and Cooper back, man. Puka's been going lights out since he's been back, bro.
Oh my God, he had 45 fantasy points this week.
It's crazy.
Commanders at Saints, we're both going Commanders.
I'm taking the Commanders, bro, and I'm hoping Jaden and Terry put up a combined 100 points, bro.
Me too. I need it.
Let's go, dog.
Chiefs at the Browns.
Frankie, who are you taking?
You know I'm taking the Chiefs.
Oh, I'm taking the Browns.
Nice. Okay.
I'm taking the Browns,
That's our first different one.
I'm telling you right now, I have a feeling that the Browns, I don't know why, man, but I just feel like, Jameis Winston, who did he beat earlier this season? He beat the Ravens. He beat some tough teams. I feel like this could add to his resume this season. You know what I mean? Dude, I'm trying to catch up to you, so I'm taking the Browns.
I like it. Hey, it's honestly the Browns. When they get it together, they're a good team.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know if you saw the clip with Jameson asking God to stop throwing pick six. Let me not throw any more pick sixes.
the pick from the Hard Knocks AFC North they had. God. Yeah, dude, I seen that.
Oh my gosh, he was at his interview and just like, please don't let me throw any more pick sixes.
Man, Jameis is a character, but I'm telling you right now, I think that if anything, especially with how things have gone for him this season, that's just going to add to it, man. I think he can beat the Chiefs in Cleveland too.
They can ball out. Man. They're not a bad team.
Jeudy put up 235 receiving yards.
They started off slow. Deshaun Watson wasn't the answer. This kid, I mean, Winston looks like he could be the answer. They got to get some.
Watson.
They got to get some stuff figured out. Nick Chubb's still not 100% from his injury last year.
Right.
So, but yeah, I like their future. If they keep Winston, I think they got a good team. So
I agree.
Bengals at Titans. We're going Bengals.
I
I'm
absolutely
assuming.
going
You sure
Bengals
you don't want to go
here.
Will
Nah,
Levis
nah,
again?
nah,
You should start him this week in fantasy.
Dude, come on, man. 30-second rate. If you like I said, go back to his numbers.
I know. You know what's crazy? I started Jordan Love against them, and he got hurt or something. It was like every time I start a quarterback against the worst defense, the Jags, they do terrible.
It's
the
a
same
curse.
way.
It's a curse, dude.
Yep. Cowboys at Panthers.
Cowboys at Panthers, bro. You know what? I'm going to be taking the Panthers
Me
here.
too. Man, the Cowboys are terrible. I'm sorry.
Yes,
they're terrible.
sir.
Panthers look much better
Yeah, they do.
since they benched Bryce and brought him back.
They could have beat Philly last week.
They
And Xavier
almost
Legette
did.
even said, I had him. I just started
They
him, bro.
almost beat
Could
them.
have had that touchdown,
That
bro.
was so
Got to
close.
make those catches, man.
I like Panthers at home too. That's funny. Ravens at Giants.
Oh, you know I'm taking the Ravens, bro.
Oh yeah, me too. You got to do that.
Derrick
Easy.
Henry, man. I got him starting in fantasy for the playoffs. I need him to have 300 yards.
Yep. Dolphins at Texans. That's a good game in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm going to be taking the Texans here.
I got to take Texans too, but I mean the Dolphins could beat the Texans.
Yeah, they're explosive. But again, I feel like
the Texans lost a few games they shouldn't have lost.
Well,
this
they
year.
know what time it is. The Texans is getting close to playoff time, especially with the seeding and all that. I mean, they just lost one of their best defensive players to a suspension. The dude's an idiot. We all know.
Yeah. That
So
was
I
crazy.
think they're going out there, man. They're gonna definitely try to get the win there. And mind you, it's in Houston.
It's in Houston. I'm taking it. If it was in Miami, I might honestly change that. But
Yeah, I'm
I'm
taking the
going
Texans.
Texans. What about Jets at Jags? Both
Man.
terrible teams.
Jets
You want
at
Mac
Jags.
Jones?
Nah.
Nah,
You know
you
what?
gotta go Jets.
I'm
I'm
going
going
Jets.
Jets,
Yeah, I think at least they'll win this one because if they don't, then it's really gonna look bad for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean the Jets have to win that game.
Right.
And that's good. Again, that's good for us. One of the teams is going to have one more win than us, unless
That's
we
right.
win too.
I didn't even think
so
of
that's
that.
good for the Patriots. The Bucks at Chargers. That's going to be a phenomenal game.
That
I feel
is,
like.
but with how bad the Bucks secondary is, like I was just talking about, and the Stats and everything, I'm gonna be taking the Chargers here, man.
See, I want to take the Bucks, but the Chargers defense is so good.
That's what I'm
I just
saying.
don't like since J.K. Dobbins went down. The Chargers offense don't look as good.
Yeah, they don't have an established run game, but at the same time, man, Justin Herbert
Matt
is
McConkey hurt too.
Well, I mean, one game.
Is he coming back?
He's coming back.
If
Don't
he's
you
coming,
worry about
you
that.
heard it here first from him. So, all right, I'm going to take the Chargers too because Matt McConkey's there. They're winning the game. I agree with that.
Yes, sir.
Colts at Broncos. I'm going Broncos.
I'm going Broncos.
Yeah, that's easy. Pats at Cards. We already talked about. We both got the Cards winning that one. Bills at Lions. It's gonna be the game of the week.
That should have been Sunday Night Football right there.
This
in my
is gonna
opinion.
be an unbelievable game.
I want it, and it is in Detroit, but dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna take the Bills here.
Wow,
with
I like it.
with how good Josh Allen played and they lost, man, they're gonna go into this game and they're gonna show, hey, we may have lost to the Rams, especially how good he played, but they're gonna beat the one of the best teams in the NFL, in my opinion, the Lions this week.
This is such a good game.
I'm taking the Bills 100%.
This is one of my favorite games, like of the season, possibly. This is
yeah.
gonna be so much fun to watch. I'm taking the Lions just because I'm sticking with the Lions all year. They're, to me, the team to beat in the league right now.
I agree. Yeah, best team in the league, in my opinion.
But the Bills could do it because Josh Allen is Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league.
He's on fire.
He's
right
the
now.
best quarterback in the league.
Yes.
He's unbelievable. So, I mean, I hate to say it because he's on Buffalo, but he is unbelievable. So that's I got to go Lions.
All right, you're
though.
taking
That's
Lions.
just
I'm taking
cramped.
Bills, bro. That's gonna
I
be a
gotta
good
stick
one.
with it. Steelers at Eagles.
I'm going to be taking the Eagles here. Even though they had a close matchup against Carolina, I just think they're going to pull away against the Steelers here. Yeah, so I'm going to take the Eagles.
Steelers have been playing great. Their defense on the Steelers, in my opinion, is better, but the Eagles secondary is nasty. And the offense for the Eagles much better, in my opinion. So I'm going to go Eagles too. But that's going to be another good game, I feel like. Pennsylvania right there. Packers at Seahawks. I'm going Packers.
I'm going
day.
Packers too, bro. I mean, yeah, the Seahawks may have beat the Cardinals last week. That is the Cardinals. And at the end of the day, man, Packers have been looking good.
Yeah, Packers have been playing real good. They almost beat Detroit too.
Right.
That was a close game.
That's what I'm saying.
Bears at Vikings. I'm going Vikings, obviously. I'm assuming you are too.
Yeah, I'm going Vikings. I went against the Vikings last week, hoping Kirk would have done something, man. But yeah, they're looking pretty good, man. And who would have thought, man, losing, obviously their first round pick quarterback. I mean, I didn't think they were going to be this
Yeah, I
good.
didn't
but
think Sam Donald would be doing this.
Right.
He's thrown like 3 or 4 games this year with 4 or more touchdowns.
They do have a lot of turnovers, but I will say, man, they find ways to win games.
Yeah, no,
not like the
you
Chiefs.
have Justin
though.
Jefferson, Jordan Addison as your 1-2. That's a pretty good 1-2 punch. And now Hawkinson's back. I mean, come on.
I know, right?
So,
and I mean,
it's a
Aaron
good
Jones,
team.
he's been having some fumbling issues, but he's Aaron Jones.
Yeah, no, he played good last week. So, Falcons at Raiders. I'm gonna take the Falcons, even though I said I was gonna stop, but I'm not gonna take the Raiders. That's for sure.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna be taking the Falcons too. But honestly, I don't think it's gonna be Kirk that's out there. I think one mistake and then in comes Michael Penix because Kirk been playing horrible.
That's crazy.
Looking like Desmond Ritter 2.0.
They should have never drafted Penix anyway.
Right.
Now that they're making a quarterback controversy because of that draft pick.
Bro, I'm telling you.
And they could have had a better team. He could have had a better line, a better anything. They could have got another guy at the 8th pick overall. Come on.
So you know what I
need
just
that quarterback.
Right. So you know what I just realized too, though, Frankie, was I said Desmond Ritter 2.0 for Kirk Cousins. Actually, on the other side, Desmond Ritter's probably going to be starting for the Raiders.
For the Raiders, yeah.
This is a revenge game for him. Should we be taking the Raiders, bro?
Yeah, take them. That's all I ain't doing.
I'm taking the Falcons.
You need some wins. You should take them.
Nah, I'm taking the Falcons.
Awesome, man.
I got a few more weeks to catch up.
Yeah, you do.
Good luck, brother.
You too. Episode 26. This has been awesome, man.
Frankie, we got to be a little quiet, man. You don't want to wake the beast.
I ain't worried about the beast. Come on, man. It's episode 26.
No, Frankie, I can't see nothing, bro.
I can't see nothing either.
Dude, what is going on here? Who hit the lights? Frankie, I see eyes in the...
Who is
that, bro?
What is that? What is it? Who is it? Oh, lights are back on. Where'd Keith go?
Oh, you're standing in them.
I'm standing in them. Oh, I know what this is. This is that new movie, Kraven the Hunter, that's coming out this week. Looks like a good movie. Definitely worth seeing. Yeah. From Beantown to your town, stay wicked, Pissah.